My husband thinks I don't know he's been slamming the babysitter, and I'm going to catch them in the act. My husband and I have been together for 6 years and married for 4. We have 2 children, a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. Both of us work full-time. I'm a realtor, and my husband owns his own business. We've had a number of different nannies in the past, but they didn't pan out, and sometimes our parents end up watching the kids. About 8 months ago, my husband told me that one of his friend's daughters, we'll call her Ella, 20F, was looking for a part-time job during college. We live in a small college town, so her commute wouldn't be too troublesome if she were to come over. We tried her out one night, and everything went smoothly. She has always been nice to me, and the kids love her. My suspicion started last month when I came home early to find my husband had been home, and Ella was still at the house babysitting. I asked my husband why he didn't send her home if he was home, and his response was, "She's just trying to make a little money, and the kids were having fun, so I didn't send her off." Then, 2 weeks ago, I drove past my husband's office on the way to a meeting, and Ella's car was parked there. I asked my husband later about what she was doing at the office, and he said that she was probably stopping by to see her dad. Nowadays, whenever I come home, Ella is always dressed up more with makeup done and heels on. 2 days ago, I found strands of blonde hair in the back seat of my husband's truck. I have blonde hair, but this was closer to Ella's shade. Also, I don't think my husband would do anything in the backseat since he's 6'6", 240 pounds. Last night, I found the opportunity to check my husband's phone while he was with the kids. I didn't find any romantic texts between them, but I could definitely tell that text messages had been deleted. If you read the conversation, it didn't make sense because it was obviously missing the middle part. I talked to my friend this morning, and she pointed out that my husband has a type, which is blonde women, and Ella falls perfectly into that category. Should I confront him right now, or should I wait to find something more concrete? Update 1. Ella is currently at the house right now, and from what I can tell from Find My iPhone, my husband is 30 minutes away heading home. They both think I'll be working until 7 p.m. today, but I'm going to walk in unannounced 15 minutes after my husband gets home. I'm not sure what the plan is if I catch them in the act. Unfortunately, I don't have access to his phone logs since his phone plan is through his business, but we do have cameras on the outside of the house and a baby monitor in the kids' bedroom. I'm not ready to fire her unless I get solid evidence of my husband cheating. I need to know if my husband is having any sort of romantic relationship with her first. Update 2. I wasn't able to get the concrete evidence I was looking for, but I found some more circumstantial evidence. When I was tracking my husband through Find My iPhone, he stopped on his way home at the grocery store for 10 minutes. I decided to park and wait on a side street so I could see when my husband would get home. He arrived home at 5:30 p.m., and Ella was scheduled to work until 6 p.m. We have a long gravel driveway that leads to our house, so I decided to park near our barn so I wouldn't be heard pulling up to the house. I walked through the front door and found Ella feeding my 4-year-old. She was also preparing dinner in the kitchen. Today she was wearing a tight top, skirt, and platform heels. I asked if she knew where my husband was, and she replied, he was upstairs taking a shower. She then immediately went over to the living room to pick up her phone and send a text message to someone. Also in the living room were a fresh bouquet of flowers. I asked her about the flowers, and she said a guy she's been seeing gave them to her today. She said she didn't want to leave them in the car, so she brought them inside. When I asked her about the guy that she was seeing, she said he was from school and wasn't sure if it was going anywhere. After that, I went upstairs to see if my husband left his phone in the bedroom before getting in the shower, and sure enough, he left his phone on the dresser. The newest text message was from Ella that read, "Your wife is home." I tried looking up the deleted messages on his phone, but they had been permanently deleted. I decided to wait in our bedroom until my husband was done showering, and when he did come out, he was surprised to see me. I told him my 6:30 showing got cancelled and just got home. Then, I tried to see if he wanted to smash to see how he would react, and he said he didn't feel comfortable doing it while Ella was in the house. At this point, Ella was upstairs in my younger son's room, which shares a wall with our room. She ended up leaving the house at 6 p.m. with the flowers. After dinner, my husband mentioned to me about buying Ella a new car for Christmas, and his reasoning was that her car was old and not safe for our kids to ride in. All I told him was that I would think about it. I'm considering firing her on Monday without telling my husband and seeing how they both react. I'm still trying to process everything going on. I'm still hoping all of this is just me overthinking. I really love my husband, and I can't stand the thought of our beautiful family splitting up. Relevant comments. To me, the car purchase suggestion was the fishiest thing of all. Ella's family is not a family of means, but she now has a new iPhone, new clothes, jewelry, and shoes. I didn't put it all together until my husband suggested buying her a brand new car. We share a bank account for bills, but we also both have separate accounts. Also, I just remembered that last week my husband came home with a new jacket. He told me that he liked it, so he bought it, but my husband never buys clothes for himself. There's no reason to be coming in heels and all dressed up to babysit 2 toddlers if there wasn't something else going on. I 100% agree with this. When she first started, she would come in baggy clothing, but now she comes in dresses or skirts. My husband likes my nails white, and now Ella has white nails too. She also went from sneakers to sandal heels. My husband has a thing for feet, so the heels are really messing with my head. Update 3. I would like to thank everyone for their support and ideas on how to deal with this situation. Yesterday morning, I met up with Ella and told her that we wouldn't be needing her services anymore due to my little sister being available to watch the kids, which is true by the way. She quietly said that she understood and told me to let her know if I would change my mind. My husband called me 5 minutes later, sounding very upset about Ella being fired. I think Ella told him, but he claimed her dad told him we had just fired her. I said that was my final decision, and there was no changing it. He came home 20 minutes later and asked me why I didn't talk to him first about firing her. I told him about everything I've noticed between them, from the text to the clothing she started to wear. He denied everything and said it was all in my head. I told him if he wanted this marriage not to end in a divorce, he had to cut all contact with Ella. After 1 hour of arguing, he finally agreed not to contact her anymore. I honestly don't have the mental energy to deal with a divorce, split my kids, and date again. I don't want to be the single mom who is always busy and unhappy. I told him never to bring her up again. I don't know 100% if they had an affair, but I think it's better for my health not to find out. I think I'm going to quit my job so I can raise my kids and work on my marriage. I'm not sure if this was all because I've been working a lot of hours and have been distant from my husband. Thanks again for all the support.
Subscribe please to Anonymous Stories and share your thoughts on the comments.